What up, YouTube? Alex, come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today we've got a couple SC Evo Complete games to cover. If you're not familiar with the SC Evo Complete mod, it puts Brood War in the StarCraft 2 engine. It is hilarious. Let's go ahead and introduce our teams. Team number one, spawning on the top right-hand side of the map, it's our purple Zerg player AlexDeath with his ally spawning just to his right. It's our green Brood War Zerg player Cyantusk going up against team number two, spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map. It's our red Brood War Zerg player Pagliacci with his ally spawning just to his right. It's our blue Brood War Terran player Zeros. So all players here are Brood War except for AlexDeath. Alex deciding to be brave and roll for the StarCraft 2 race, or are the Brood War races the brave ones? Because let's be honest, there's some pretty good quality of life features and macro features for the StarCraft 2 Zerg. Looks like team number one is mentioning that this guy right here, Zeros, is a Terran player, so I guess maybe rolling random. Big respect to you, Zeros. Now, both players for team number two are expanding, as well as team number one. Cyantusk actually going for the gold base, and Zeros with the Hero Marine spotting the purple Overlord. AlexDeath running this thing away very slowly, and some dinosaur Zerglings here as well running across the map. I don't think they're going to be able to save this poor Overlord, especially now that there are two Marines trying to kill this thing, and indeed the Overlord will go down. But Cyantusk, if he moves these things quickly, might be able to catch the StarCraft 1 Marines. And look at the StarCraft 1 skin on these things, man. They look so good. Looks like the bunker here has finished up as well. Cyantusk attacking the expansion. This is actually the third base for Pagliacci. Pagliacci did take the backdoor base for team number two. Meanwhile, looks like the backdoor base has been taken by AlexDeath, and I expect this game to be just chaos of Zerglings, just like a Zergling storm. AlexDeath telling his teammate to wait, though. I wonder if he's, yep, Banelings right here, hatching them in the middle of the map, and this is going to be crazy. Brood War Zerglings have no idea what Banelings are, but Pagliacci actually running around the main army for team number one, which I think is poor timing right now because base number three will most definitely go down. I like the placement of the bunker, really trying to lock down both sides of the entryway to the main base. These Banelings, though, throwing down so much splash damage on all this stuff, and it looks like Pagliacci not really knowing what to do with his Zerglings in the middle of the map. I think a lot of them actually probably went down, but look at this, the Fire Bat, the Brood War Fire Bat, doing so much damage to the rest of the Zerg stuff. This thing with 5 kills and full HP, that is insane. And yep, just like I said, it's going to be just a storm of Zerglings this game, and we love to see it. So much chaos at only 4.5 minutes into the game, and I would expect nothing less in a game full of Zerg players and one poor Terran player who has to hold off Zerglings ×2. This is insane. Oh man, Cyantusk able to make entrance into the main base just briefly. Zeros, you gotta lift this base off. There's no way you can save this. I mean, actually, maybe you could, but I would lift it off anyway. And here we go, finally getting the lift off, but the command center is now on fire. So much acid everywhere, all over the bio on team number two's side of the map. Zero's deciding to land this command center, but he's got to repair this thing quickly before more Zerglings come and snipe it, or before it burns down. Here we go, finally getting a repair. Just one SCV repairing, but I don't know, man. I would maybe put just a few more SCVs to get a quick repair because we got a lot more Zerglings on the way, as well as several more Banelings. Just chaos all over the map. The third base getting canceled by our Zerg player, our red Brood War Zerg player. Base number two getting repaired very slowly by Zeros, but you know what? The longer he mines and only commits one SCV to this to repairing this command center, the more economy he has. And honestly, I think this is a good move because a lot of the focus for team number one is on the left-hand side, and that command center is on the right. But the bunker is gone. The engineering bay here is up, but another bunker is attempted to be placed right now. Will it go down? It won't survive. It will go down for sure. Gets canceled, actually. Good reaction time there from Zeros. Oh, man. Oh, the siege tank. How many kills does this siege tank have? 38 kills. That is disgusting. Cyantusk deciding to switch to Mutas. Alex agreeing with that. And how many workers? I mean, we can't see how many workers went down in the team UI. That is unfortunate. I pressed it and nothing happened. Breaking my heart, StarCraft, as usual. Oh, this Baneling. I just turned it around. Oh, yep, the Baneling going down, one of them surviving, and a lot of purple Zerglings here for AlexDeath, our purple Zerg player running across the map, effectively locking down the left-hand side and forcing the Zerg player to stay on 2 bases. Meanwhile, this base is completely locked down with sunken colonies and almost mined out. I would say about halfway to being mined out. Cyantusk, great move opening with your expansion into the gold base. It's definitely paid off, and it will definitely help with transitioning to Mutas. More Zerglings in the middle of the map. I wish I could take bets on StarCraft because I would have won a lot of money by saying this game is going to be fully just chaotic with Zerglings. But, I mean, who wouldn't bet on that, right? You have 3 Zergs in this game. If there were no Zerglings, that would be an interesting move. A scan in the middle of the map. Oh, okay. I was like, what is that? I think that was an Overlord. I think, look at it go. Rest in peace, potential Overlord. I don't know what else it would have been. There's nothing for our Zerg players that would have had a skeleton that big except for an Overlord and eventually Mutas. Here we go. I think the first Mutas coming out for Cyantusk, the Brood War Mutas. Alex suggesting for harassment, which, yeah, you know, I don't disagree with that, but you guys did a good opener, man. I mean, forcing your opposing Zerg to stay on 2 bases for a while is pretty rough for that red Zerg player. He could expand right now, I think. I think it would be safe. There hasn't been a lot of action here for, I want to say, a good 2 minutes, but I understand why he hasn't necessarily. The first Mutas flying across the map. Let's see how much damage they do. There's no anti-air here to speak of. This is going to be brutal. Pagliacci, you've got to run these drones away. Yes, and okay, running the drones away. Not much anti-air here except for the Marines. Ironically, your tier 1 unit will be able to do some anti-air damage, but on top of this, a lot of Zerglings from our red Zerg player right here that are just chilling. For a second, I got confused. I was like, oh man, a lot of Zerglings are running across the map. These are team number 2's Zerglings. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Taking a look at what's going on for our team number 1. A lot of macro hatcheries here. Here's this base. Oh, that is a very cool looking lair. Anyway, the Mutas here trying to do some damage. Pagliacci going for some Mutas of his own. So the red versus green Mutas also taking out an Overlord for AlexDeath as well. Looks like some missile towers here being placed behind the natural mineral line for our blue Terran player and a whole lot of Zerglings running across the map. I don't know, man. I feel like this is still anybody's game, but I think this is favoring team number 1 just because they have a stronger economy. Pagliacci has to be very careful to play very efficiently until he gets more bases, because right now he's still technically on 2 bases, and I'm assuming the main base is almost mined out. Not quite mined out. It's still got some money left to be mined, but it's only got 7 drones on it right now. Now taking a look at what we got going on for our green Zerg player, because he's got a lot right here. Mutas and Lings, what else could you ask for? And like I said, the sunken colonies in the gold base, and it looks like a 4th base being taken from or by our green Zerg player, our Brood War Zerg player, and it looks like just Lingbane and some Hydras for our purple Zerg player as well. And some Lings running across the map actually might be able to snipe base number 4 for the green Zerg player. Let's take a look. Here we go. It's been spotted by Pagliacci, but he's not going for it. Deciding to go for the drones instead. I don't know, man. I think I would have gone for the force cancel. on this base. So many of those Zerglings going down. The Banelings just able to get right in there, and look at it. So much blood. Dear God, there is so much blood. And here we go. The base spared by our red Zerg player. I definitely would have gone for the surround, forced the cancel, and then seen what I could do about the mineral line. I mean, yeah, there's only 6 workers right here, so it wasn't a total loss, but I mean, forcing the cancel on this would have really delayed the extra mining for our green Zerg player, Cyantusk. And I just love the skins, the StarCraft 1 skins. They look so much more gritty to me. I mean, look at this. You have like the Insectoid StarCraft 2. This is actually perfect. And the dinosaur-like StarCraft 1. So cool looking, man. Now, also, I think if you have a Brood War Zerg and a StarCraft 2 Zerg together, only the StarCraft 2 Zerg would really have to focus on going for the creep spread, because the creep tumors are just so powerful for spreading creep. And creep is shared by your team, so that's actually something I hadn't thought of before. Anyway, Zero's getting caught a little bit out of position, I think, sieging up, but so much stuff going down. The Infestors on the back of this army throwing down a fungal as well. Zero's leaving the game. Cyantusk celebrating an early victory, I think, and Pagliacci throwing out the GG, giving the victory to team number 1. What a sick SC Evo game, but like I said, we have a second one, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys for game number 2. All right, guys, welcome to game number 2, but there's been a twist. The allies have turned into enemies. It's a 1 versus 1 matchup between Cyantusk and AlexDeath. Let's go ahead and reintroduce them. Spawning on the top right-hand side of the map, it's our purple, now Brood War Zerg player, AlexDeath, going up against his former ally, the green Brood War Zerg player, Cyantusk. We'll see how this game goes. Again, I expect nothing but chaos with Zerglings, at least in the opening of this game. But luckily for Cyantusk, no Banelings to worry about. Now, it looks like both players are going for a pretty similar build, throwing down their respective expansions and going for the Overlord. I almost called them Broodlords. The Overlord scouting. Did I call these Broodlords in game number 1? I feel like maybe I did. I think about so many things all at once when I'm casting that sometimes I don't hear the words that come out of my mouth. Looks like a macro hatchery here as well being placed for AlexDeath. Now, I assume a lot of you are familiar with Brood War, but just in case you're not, I mean, it is a very old game. You don't have queens in Brood War, so the way you macro as Zerg for getting more larvae is building extra hatcheries, and in this case, I like the use of kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, making a wall, and also using this macro hatchery to ultimately get some more macro by getting those extra larvae, and also throwing down some creep colonies, which will help with creep spread, but also static defense by morphing these into sunken colonies. Now, it looks like there's already Zerglings running across the map for our green Zerg player, but the sunken colonies will prevent Cyantusk from really entering this natural base. I mean, look, we have another one right here on the right-hand side, one on the left-hand side behind the macro hatch, and another one that will tighten up this wall a whole lot. And we're going to have, I think, 4 sunken colonies right now. I think AlexDeath, seeing these Zerglings, maybe got a little bit scared. He's like, okay, am I getting cheesed right now? I might be. So let's throw down some static defense, which I'm not necessarily mad about. What's this, though? Cyantusk with 2 drones on the opposing side of the map? No way. Throwing down his own creep colonies, which I think will help spread creep, but these will definitely turn into sunken colonies, and they're within range of this hatchery. Oh, this is a very good move by Cyantusk, I think. I don't want to see him lose all his Zerglings, though. Okay, some of them are still alive, and look at this. He's helping with the creep spread for his ally, which is funny, but this creep colony and this one also, both of them will turn into sunken colonies here shortly, and I think they will be within range of that macro hatch, and indeed they are. And Cyantusk going for a sneaky 3rd base as well. This is hilarious. I don't think I've ever cast a game with a sunken colony rush on my channel before. There's a possibility that it happened once, but I do not remember it. Anyways, I just had to double check to see if I was recording because we went on to game number 2 and I forgot if I pressed the record button, I would have been so sad because this game is hilarious. This macro hatch going down, and now AlexDeath kind of maybe locked into, yeah, he's kind of locked in his own base right now until he can take care of the sunken colonies. Meanwhile, Cyantusk will happily be macroing up with that third base, but check it out. We have mutas on the way for our purple Zerg player, which will allow him to kind of bypass this contain. I mean, there's only 2 sunken colonies. He could take them out with the mutas and open the door, or, well, never mind. I was going to say, or he could sneak into the back of the main base for the Zerg player, but he's been spotted. So let's see what Cyantusk has got. Excuse me. Okay, he's got spore colonies in the main base already, so he's doing what I think I would do, which would be take care of these sunken colonies before flying away. And he's also taking out the overlords, which is a good move as well. And this will open the door for his natural base, and he'll be able to throw down a third base eventually. But he's been slowed down a lot by this contain. We'll see how he how things play out and how he can keep up in the macro department. Taking a look at the worker supply, let's take a look. 33 workers to 30 in favor of AlexDeath, actually. So even though there's a third hatchery right here for our green Zerg player, purple is actually ahead in the worker department. And now flying these mutas into the natural base location, but these spore colonies here, 2 of them in the natural base, will easily ward these things off. And a third base finally coming down for AlexDeath as well. But what a hilarious opener by our green Zerg player. I love to see crazy cheese like that. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I did do some coverage of Warcraft 3 versus StarCraft. And one thing that we discovered in that game is that you can actually build undead structures on creep, which is hilarious. So we saw kind of like a ziggurat push. Spoiler alert, it didn't go so well, but the game turned into something awesome. It was a really, really sick game. Anyways, looks like AlexDeath with these mutas not knowing where to go because, well, I mean, both bases are kind of locked down for our green Zerg player. One lone Zergling here running around getting some scouting information, and I think will spot base number 3 for our purple Zerg player. What else do we have on the field for our green Zerg player? Looks like some Hydras on the way in response to the mutas, so it looks like it's going to be mutas versus Hydras at least for the time being. Cyantusk doing a good job at locking down his bases with some static defense. Usually you don't want to go overboard on static defense because it's a lot of resources, but at the same time, given how mobile mutas are, in this case, I'm not mad about it, but this base did get spotted, and it's going to be a lot harder for Cyantusk to defend because it's so out of the way from the rest of his production. But here we go, the Brood War Hydras, and look at them. They are so badass looking, man. And one supply also, by the way, which is awesome for the Zerg. And, dude, they look... Oh, man, 1 second. They look so much better than StarCraft 2 Hydras. I don't even know. I shouldn't be biased because most of my time playing StarCraft is StarCraft 2, but I do like the grit of Brood War. Oh no, a lot of Zerglings here, and no sunken colonies, only spore colonies in the natural base location. How many workers went down? 4 workers killed in that engagement, 5 workers total killed in this game by our purple player, and 0 killed by our green player. Oh, and the Zerglings here trying to get an engagement, but look at this. So much static defense. It's crazy. The mutas flying into the middle of the map with no Zergling support, though the Zerglings actually kind of lagging behind, and I don't see a lot of Hydras actually. What is the total supply right now? Army supply is 34 to 44 in favor for our purple Zerg player. Worker supply also in favor for our purple Zerg player, 51 workers to 40. So Cyantusk maybe floating a little bit too much money. He's got 500 minerals and almost 400 gas, but I do like the tech that he went with in response to the mutas. He just has to be careful not to get surrounded by the Zerglings. He does have some Zerglings of his own, though, but this is not enough mutas to handle this many Hydras. That is for sure. What Cyantusk could do is put some pressure on base number 3, and I think that's exactly what he's going to be doing right now. The Zerglings running into the mineral line. These Zerglings trying to get a surround on the Hydras, though. The Hydras running up the ramp, and these Zerglings protecting them. Oh, I don't know if this is enough for Cyantusk, though. The army getting split, actually. So, Cyantusk finding a nice little choke point in the back of the base, but the Zerglings ultimately getting the surround, excuse me, on all those Hydras, losing pretty much everything. 6 workers killed in that engagement, though, by our green/blue Zerg player. I guess it's like a turquoise green, but I'm just calling him green for consistency at this point. I promise I'm not colorblind, although I think that claim is suspect after the last few casts I've done with these kind of more off colors than I'm used to seeing. That is for sure. Now, I mean, we got a decent contain right here in terms of the mineral line. I mean, there's not a lot of space for these Zerglings to get us around, and also finally a couple sunken colonies here as well. Taking a look at the army supply, though, look at this. 57 army supply to 13 in favor of in favor for our purple Zerg player. To be fair, though, I don't know what Cyantusk's experience is with Brood War Zerg. They could just be playing for fun. I mean, he was part of the winning team last game, so give him some credit there. A 4th base coming down for both players, actually. I think this is a 4th base. Yep, right here on the bottom right-hand side of the map for our purple Zerg player, and a whole lot of Zerg stuff running across the map. This is so cool looking in the StarCraft 2 engine, man. I mean, StarCraft 2 has really held up. For as old of a game as it is, it looks very modern, and it plays so good. The lurkers here, do we have any detection? I don't think we do. I mean, okay, here we go. The overlords, which are detectors in the in Brood War, so they will be able to help spot these lurkers. But these Zerglings pushing the Hydralisks back, and the mutas here for AlexDeath are just chilling right now, probably waiting until some of this anti-air gets cleaned up. The macro hatch going down. Cyantusk throwing out the GG, giving the victory to AlexDeath. As always, big shout out to my members and patrons. I really appreciate the extra layer of support. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.